Hey guys, today I'm back working on the old GMC Envoy 2006 model, and we've got the small block Chevy sitting in it. We got the 350 Chevy transmission in it. We got things flying around the room. What is that? So today we're going to hook up the drive shaft. Now, in the last episode, the original drive shaft was way too short. I grabbed another drive shaft and it was a few inches too short. Well, I've grabbed two other drive shafts, these two right here, and one of them is 54 inches and one of them is 55 inches. That should be the exact length to go into this vehicle. And I had them in my other shop. Every time I crush something, I always save the drive shaft. So I've got like 40 drive shafts hanging around, and I saved them all for occasions like this. And hopefully one of these is going to be the exact length and I don't have to do any cutting. So I've got to clean up the yokes of the transmission, or the drive shafts, before I even try to put them in the transmission. So I'm going to clean them up, and then we're going to crawl up underneath and try to install the drive shaft, hopefully with no issues. If that's the case, then I'm going to move on to hooking up the shifter. So I'm going to have to hook up the linkage underneath. Well, I'm going to have to figure out how to hook up the shifter. So that'll be after that. So let's clean up these yokes and try to fit in a drive shaft. I'm going to get a brush and clean out the inside of the yoke and give her a shot. Alright, I got them pretty clean. We're going to take these two drive shafts, go up underneath the car. I'm going to do that right now. And we're going to see what fits. Alright, so we're going to start with the shorter one first and see what we think. There we go. Oh wow, it is perfect. So guys, this is what we got right there. It is perfect. Can't get any more perfect than that. And it seems like the universal joint is just right. So all I've got to do is find the pieces to bolt the universal joint to the rear end. Once I find that and I can bolt it in, then we're going to have the drive shaft done. Then I've got to take the shifter, which is right up here, the shift linkage, and I've got to take this and I've got to figure out how to mate it up to the transmission. It's going to be interesting. Alright, so we're going to clean up the threads in the rear end because it got flooded, everything rusted up. So I'm just going to hit it with a tap just to clean it up, make it easy. Cool deal. Now this is great. I'm pretty sure this drive shaft came out of a 70s model Chevy Caprice, if I'm not mistaken. And it's fitting in an '06 GMC Envoy. That is so crazy. I should have gotten my impact with a socket, but I got a screwdriver. It'll be alright. It'll be fine. Alright, drive shaft is in. Let's go to the shifter. Alright, what I got to do next is I need to make a adapter to take the bracket, and I've got to adapt it to the 350 transmission. So I've got this angle iron, and I've already pre-drilled the holes to bolt it to the bottom pan of the transmission. This is going to go about like so, and I'm going to take this, I'm going to cut off the end of this, and I'm gonna just butt it up against, and I'm gonna run a weld down here, and then we'll have a bracket that I can put on the 350 transmission where the cable can hook up. Then I'm gonna have shifter, drive shaft in it, and then the only thing left is hooking up the exhaust manifolds and the wiring, figuring that out, and then I should be able to fire it up and you know, back it up or whatever if I need to. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this, and hopefully it's gonna be okay. Alright, I'm hoping that this is going to be pretty simple. Like I said, I've got those brackets, but I've got to weld things up. So, I've got the pieces right here, and I've got the welder ready. So let's turn over here and get the welding. Should have gotten some longer ones. I'm going to go without the washers for now. Yeah. Here we go. Alright. We now have this piece. And I believe it goes on this way. And it's not long enough. I messed up. So I need to get a little bit of an extension. Can I turn that around? Let's try turning this around. I don't think I can do it though. So let's turn this around. That way's wrong. Okay, cool. Can I do it this way? Yes, I can. Alright, so I'm going to go up in the car and I'm going to make sure it is in park, because right now this thing is in park. So I'm just going to double check. Alright. So we're going to hook up the ground on the transmission. It's on the aluminum housing, so that ought to work fine. Alright, here we go. Cover. Cover. I don't know why I said cover. It's not like anyone is in here watching. We're gonna hook the shifter up and see if it works. Guys, this is the next day. My brother decided to join me. Yeah, so he's over here because we have to go through Dad's stuff. Because, you know, my dad passed away in February 19th, in the morning. 2:42?
Yeah, I think it, yeah.
Something like that. Anyhow, he's giving me a hand with the Envoy. Thank you, bro. So I am bolting up the torque converter, and he is working on, what are you working on, bro?
Some headers.
Some headers. We are putting some headers in the Envoy because I lost the cast iron manifolds that I was going to put in here. So my brother was like, well, what are these headers on the wall? And I'm like, they're block hugger headers. I don't think they're going to fit. And he put them in there, and they fit. So he's going to be working on that. I'm going to be working on the torque converter so we can let this thing down and do the wiring up. And hopefully by the end of the video, we're going to hear this thing fire up. So the shifter is hooked up. The drive shaft is hooked up. All I got to do is torque converter. Oh, I got to hook up the transmission lines. Oh, you pulled out the, just pulled out?
Yeah.
He pulled out the oil dipstick.
To get the headers on.
To get the headers on. Think it should go in right
It has to go through. Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. I'm fine with that. So I'm gonna go underneath the car and do some work. You gonna be up here working?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see if I cut them the right length. I did. Ooh. Ooh. My brother would probably be like, yeah, no, I don't want you there.
Oh, no.
You don't know how to work on bikes. This thing's gonna leak oil like crazy. It's so bad that it's got oil all over the flywheel. It's like the rear seal is shot. So this thing needs to come out, and it needs a front and rear seal put in. But at least I'll be able to hear it run, and I can evaluate how bad it is. Oops. So when you cut bolts to length, it's always a good idea to leave a nut on. So when you take it off, it cleans the threads. And you just kind of work it, work it, work it, work it. There, she's ready to use. Look at that. Bro, I really miss being young.
Well,
Like, used to, I would crawl underneath the car and do all kinds of... Huh?
not even think about it.
Yeah, now I'm like struggling. It used to be a lot of fun, and it's fun now. I enjoy doing this. Putting a worthless engine and transmission into a halfway decent GMC Envoy. But now it's just like,
Bro,
yeah.
Why didn't we do all of this, cleaning this before putting the motor in?
Because I didn't think the motor would be permanent, and I'd hate to clean and detail an engine and then find out she's got rod knock. That would suck, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but it would have been easier to scrape all this off when it's out.
Well, that's true. And I bought this engine and transmission. I bought this engine for the transmission. I didn't buy the 305 because oh man, I want a 305. It had all the parts I needed on the transmission to get my 57 going again. You know, I've looked for shifter forks, not shifter forks. It's like they don't sell them. And I looked and I looked and I looked, and I had to wind up buying a motor and transmission just to get the clutch fork. It's crazy. Are you about ready to put the manifold on?
I am.
Alright, well guys, I'm like on the second to the last torque converter bolt. I'm going to hand the camera off to my bro, and he's going to set it up and show y'all what he's working on. Okay, bro?
Alright.
Alright.
Okay, so what I'm doing, my job today, is to get the exhaust manifold installed on this engine. And I don't know why my brother is trusting me on this, because I don't work on cars and I've never installed exhaust manifolds, but or headers. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. And so here's what we got. I squeezed the header in there, which it was a little tight, but it's in there now. I had to remove the oil dipstick right there, but it's going to fit nicely in between these two exhaust ports. You want that, bro?
That.
I'm trying. Got it.
That's the kick down cable.
Okay. All right. I got it. Okay. So I've cleaned up the surface here. Cleaned it up as best I can, and we're going to go ahead and get that installed.
Alright, brother, I appreciate your help. That looks nice down there. Got the header in there. I personally have installed the starter, and I am working on wiring up the starter. And after that, it's hooking up the transmission lines. Then wiring up the distributor and stuff, and you know, it'll be running. It's not far. It's coming along good. I've accomplished a lot in this video. It doesn't seem like it, but going back, yeah, I've done a lot so far. You ready to take a ride in this thing, bro?
Yes, sir. You know, I miss cars that you could actually get into the engine bay if you need to, and it's funny that this thing now has more room in the engine bay than it did before.
it seems like it might have a little bit more room. Not much. Not much, especially whenever I put the water pump on it and stuff.
Yeah.
So we have got to go to Dad's house and go through some things. So my brother will be leaving after that. Well, he might be, depending on what time we get done, we might come back and finish up some more. So we'll see. All right, guys, gotta go. We'll see you in a second, or I'll see you in a second. So we're gonna take the distributor cap off and we're gonna figure out where top dead center is, and I'm gonna do that by removing the number 1 spark plug, which is on the driver's side front cylinder, and I'm going to spin it over with a jump starter, and I'm going to look where the distributor rotor button is pointing when I start to get compression on the number 1 cylinder. Okay, like I said, we're gonna hit this button. I'm putting my finger over the spark plug hole and we're gonna bump it. Alright, that rotor button is pointing the wrong way. It needs to be pointing this way, but I'm going to just wire it up like that because I don't feel like pulling the distributor out, because all I'm going to do is probably open up a can of worms. So that piston is all the way up and it's going clockwise, so I need to put the cap on, and I need to go 18436572. So we're going to put that on. I'm going to put some gas in the carburetor and see what happens. Alright guys, so my starter doesn't work to the ignition switch, so I'm going to do something really janky. So that's power. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the first un-LS swapped GMC Envoy in its first kind of road test. Here we go. So we definitely got a fuel delivery problem, probably a carburetor. I was hoping to have this driving out, but doesn't look like it, guys. I'm sorry. So it's a good time to go through that carburetor, see what's going on. Dang it. Son of a... What happened? What happened? Oh my God. Oh! Ah! Alright, I'm done. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. Catch y'all later.
Happy Father's Day, Dad.